Welcome to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I'm your host, Dara Whitman. Blah, 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 blah. Let's do that again. Welcome to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I'm your host, Dara Whitman, and here with me is my lovely co-host,
Cailin Clothier.
How are you?
You know what? I think I'm holding in there. I'm all kinds of concerned about all kinds of things, but you know, today I'm here and we're about to talk about a thing.
Yeah, I think, well, before we get to the thing, we have an announcement that we've been making.
Yes.
Guys, we're doing a live show at the Philly Podcast Festival.
Woo!
Hooray!
Yay!
That's going to be on June. I think the festival goes on for a while, but we are doing our show.
Yes.
On June 30th,
Which is a Saturday.
That's on Saturday at 5 p.m.
Yes.
At the Tattooed Mom, which is a bar on South Street.
Yes, I believe it's on South Street in Philadelphia.
So if you're a fan of us or a podcaster and you just want to come and see what we're doing,
Yeah, come meet us.
Come see what we're doing. What we're talking about is a surprise.
Yeah, but it is free to go, so don't worry if you have like zero money.
Yeah,
that's
it's
okay.
free to go, and if you're in the area.
Yeah, come on down. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and if we're going to be there for any other days just to like be around at the festival, we'll let you know when we figure that out.
Yeah, so we'll love to see you there.
Hooray! All right, so we're still on Orphan Black.
Yes.
We're talking about season 3 still, episode 7, Community of Dreadful Fear and Hate.
Oh, that's a lot of words.
And episode 8, Ruthless in Purpose and Insidious in Method. So,
Yes.
I would say after episode 6, which was a lot.
It was a lot.
Episode 7, which we're going to talk about first, a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
it's another Allison-centric suburban episode.
It's the Allison episode.
Hooray!
Oh my goodness.
She was like that was kind of the main crux of it.
Yeah. There's some other stuff going on, but mostly Allison.
There was some school trustee elections.
Yes.
Did you guys have? I don't think I ever had to saw anything like that when I was younger.
No, I don't know if is school trustee like that kind of position, is that a thing in the US? This may sound very ignorant.
Or even in Canada, is that a thing?
Yeah, I guess that's more of Canadian, how that is structured.
I just saw you got hired.
There's school board election.
Oh yeah.
We called it different, but we had our school board elections, and those were actual elections with a campaign, but they weren't big campaigns. Mostly because I'm from a small kind of town. So.
Yeah, there's some drug deals.
Yeah, there's some drug dealing going on.
You good?
Yeah, there's some switching all around.
There's a lot happening.
A lot going on.
Actually, do we want to just catch up real quick with Sarah and Helena? Because
yeah, let's get
they don't do it. Sarah literally does nothing this episode.
Yeah, Sarah shows up for 3 seconds, then leaves.
They're in a Mexican cantina.
Yes,
and so they're hanging out there until they think one of Mrs. S's people is going to come and get them, back to Canada. And then turns out Mrs. S came. Hooray!
Yay! So, she's there to get him.
And Helena's kind of mad.
Yeah, she wants to kill her.
I mean, to be fair.
She wants to straight up kill her.
To be fair.
Yes.
She did sell her out.
Kind of, yeah.
And then Sarah kind of just talks to the very nice cantina lady.
Mm-hmm.
She was very nice.
Yes.
And lets Sarah take a shower and change.
Yeah.
And then Helena and Mrs. S have a discussion. Although Helena just wants to kill her, and it's Mrs. S is apologizing.
Yeah, Mrs. S is trying to reason with her, and Helena's like, I'm going to kill you.
Well, she was all right, we fight, and Mrs. S is I'm not fighting you.
Yeah, she's like, let's take this outside.
And Helena gets a couple hits in there.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and then Mrs. S gets one, and then she feels terrible, and then they hug it out.
Yeah, I think there's more of a reflex, Helena, punches her, and then she kind of punches back just out of reflex, and she's like, oh wait, no, I wasn't supposed to do that.
And it's and then they hug it out, and it's a nice hug.
Yeah.
Nice solid hug.
Because Helena's learning what family is.
Aww.
Yay.
And then Sarah and Mrs. S talk for a bit. I don't know if they talk. Sarah's just I want to get this done. I'm tired. Let's just go home.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. It's kind of interesting because that was the big crux of it in the last episode, and this one's kind of just let's just wrap it up real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it takes the time it needs to, and it doesn't spend too much on it, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So they just figure it out and they get out of there.
All right, now let's talk about the next thing we'll talk about is our favorite pairing, Rachel and Scott.
Yeah,
Scott's getting a lot to do. I appreciate this with this show that all of and we talked about this season 2, these characters who you weren't sure like how you felt about them, or they just seemed kind of like nebbish. Like Scott and Donnie were kind of like the nebbish dorks, but like they're doing a lot.
They are, and I love these characters. Like, there's some really interesting character interaction I love here because like Rachel and Scott, not two characters. They're very different, and not two characters I'd picture like their paths to really cross, but like they really do in these 2 episodes, which is really funny. And so I kind of love the interaction here. That's the advantage of having such a big cast, is that like the combinations you come up with can be really weird.
We say there's a big cast, but like the cast like for real is like not that big.
Well, like the number of actors isn't that big. The number of characters is somehow a lot bigger.
Yeah. So we talked about this. I think it was the last episode where we think that Rachel might be able to decode Duncan's like genome in the book. So Scott's playing another like a farming RPG game.
Yeah, they're like they had like their buddies are doing like the tabletop RPG thing. This one is medieval farming based.
That sounds like not fun to play. It's like a group thing.
You would be surprised what nerds have fun doing.
No, I mean, like, I get, like, Farmville and stuff. Like, I had fun with that. But, like, I usually play that on my phone by myself. Right. Like, I've got this weird, like, merging gem game on my phone right now. And it's actually a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And one with townhouses. But that's besides the point. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. But, like, as a group? Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess. But Rachel comes in with Delphine to get, a checkup thing. And they both kind of, Rachel and Scott are both kind of, like, eyeing each other and be like, what do you have? What do we know? And, like, Scott shows her the book. Right. And then Rachel says, I want to learn how to play this game. Yeah. And they basically do that under the guise. Yeah. And Rachel's kind of like, can we just get to the point? I don't actually want to learn this game. And Scott's like, no.
Like, you're playing by my rules. If we do this, you're doing
Especially because, like, if somebody comes in. Yeah. Which is actually really smart. If somebody comes in. Yeah. Then we need to.
Or, like, asks a question. Then you can be like, bam, 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 bam. Yeah. Yeah. So like, he's so smart. Good nerd.
Yes, good nerd. She starts to translate. I think she starts to translate like a little bit of it. Right. But that's kind of the gist of that.
They start off with like a page just to see if she can do it.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that. We're going to talk about Cosima a little bit, although her plot line kind of juxts with Allison's a lot. Yeah. We open up with just like, listen, guys, we see too much lesbian sex. And like too many, like just 2 women kissing on each other. It's a lot, guys. Can't we like have some nice straight sex?
Where's our heterosexual representation?
Yeah, let's think about me here. I found some very pretty women, but I've never been sexually attracted to them. Let's think about me. Sometimes I want to see, can I see a naked man for once? No. Anyway.
This is an anti-heterosexual zone. You gotta get out.
No! Why can't you just, Cailin, why can't you respect what I feel? Okay? Just because I'm not attracted to women is not a problem, okay? I just want to be me.
That's okay. We love and respect you, Dara.
Deal with my straight ass, will you?
Anyway, so there's gay sex. Really what we're trying to get at here.
Just in case anybody doesn't get, like, sarcasm, I'm totally fine with this.
That is called satire.
Hooray! No, but Shay and Cosima are just, like, in bed or on a couch, like, bed. I don't know. They're at Shay's place. Yeah. I'm wondering if this relationship's, like, moving a bit too fast, because, like, I don't know, like, what the time period is, but it seems like Cosima is, like, living with Shay.
Kind of, or just, like, hanging out there a lot.
A lot, I guess. I mean, granted, like, I don't know where Cosima's, like, living, except for, like, at Felix's. Yeah. So, I mean, it might not be a thing where, like, you want to go there.
Right. Yeah, her place is probably a lot better to hang out at.
I mean, Felix's is fine. Yeah. But, like, you might have some people that want to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you want to get framed for murder, maybe that's a good place to hang out.
Yeah. But, like, I'm worried that this relationship's moving, like, a bit too fast, and, like, unless it's just, like, a super rebound. Mm-hmm. Which, like, and don't get me wrong, I like Shay. Right. But, like, I get concerned about that sometimes. I know they're adults, but, like... Right. Like, we just got off the intensity that was caffeine. Yeah. I get concerned. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, you just gotta take a break. Like, have some you time.
Speaking of Delphine, who shows up? Delphine. Guys.
It's... chill out.
I know that, like, well, Shades of Weird, like, they still work together. Yeah. So I think she's kind of, like, all right with, I mean, she's not all right with it, but, like.
Yeah, you can tell, like, she's like, kind of suspicious of some things, but she's not, like, but, like, being
also, I think what I like about Shades, like, she's definitely, like, super suspicious about stuff, but she's not, like, pushing. She's not forcing Cosima to say anything. She's like, let me just, like, do this slowly. And hopefully, like, I'll get to, and, like, it doesn't seem like she's, like, being malice or anything. She just wants to, she likes her. She wants to, like, get to know her. Yeah. It seems nice, and but Delphine says that Cosima's numbers aren't really, they're getting worse, and needs a urine sample to check stuff. And I'm gonna say this. Cosima's being kind of a bitch.
She is, yeah. She's like being very uncooperative because she's just like wants like Delphine to get off her ass about everything.
Wants Delphine to get off her ass, and she doesn't trust Delphine. And I'm like, but like, this is your health.
Yeah, like this is important. Like this is the difference between you living or dying. Maybe you should take this more seriously.
Just like, God, like Delphine, get off my ass about like this whole like this and the caster stuff. And I'm just like, but like you're getting worse. You might wanna. I don't know if I want to say what happens at the end with her because like the rest of her plotline kind of like goes with Allison's a bit. But I guess we can go like basically at the end she kind of just like tells Shay what's going on.
Yeah,
a bit. Just saying that she's sick and she's got some like rare autoimmune disease, and then she starts bleeding.
Yeah,
from I'm gonna assume the vagina area.
Yeah.
And like it's not like a period. It's like
that's not period, but that's like you're bleeding.
That's like excessive.
Yeah.
So not good.
No.
But yeah, I found it interesting that like Cosima was like kind of in the wrong this episode.
Yeah, I mean it's good to see that that's just very human.
Yeah.
Of her, but like yeah, like you can tell that she's been kind of being
and like people are telling her that she's in the wrong.
Yeah, rebellious and not in a good way. Like rebellious is in like as in like a teenager would be like against their parents, it's not like
because like it's kind of like hey like you need like I know like you think this way, and I think like Cosima's still a bit heartbroken over losing her French lady,
right?
But I feel like she should just like not get over it, but like be like yo, you need to worry. Like there's more important stuff right now,
right?
Like school trustee.
Yeah.
And drug dealing. I realized I forgot to tell you that this was like the Alex and Centric kind of thing. And then I'm like...
yeah, like as we're watching it, you're just like, oh, okay, like, what episode is it? And I was like,
this is such... Like, and this one's like probably one of the better ones. I mean, the other ones are good.
Like this one. I like this one.
It's like so funny.
It's one of those things where it's always one of those scenarios where it's like the switcheroo like scenario and like things are always like messed up and then, which causes me like anxiety, but like it was fun to watch.
We'll get to the switcheroo in a second, but first, so basically here's what Allison needs to get done for the day. Well, first of all, her and Donnie's doing like a checkup for her for diet because they're just kind of like let's just keep them on our side, whatever.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yeah, that just gives a brief kind of insight, like because they haven't really been involved with like that stuff.
Yeah,
but that just kind of gives a brief update. It's like, yeah, they're still working with them just because they're trying to keep them on their side. What?
Apparently my dad let my mom organize his closet, which is something she's never done before.
Really? Oh, no.
No, because like we do like change the closets out and like my dad's always just like kept it the same. And then my dad just sends a picture and I'm like, oh, you let her do that. That's so nice. Because she likes doing that. So that's fine.
Aw.
Good job, Dad.
Good job.
But anyway... So while they're doing that, basically, so there's 3 things that Allison needs to get done like during the day. There is getting her mother to sign over the soap shop that she owns to them so that they can, use it as a front for drug dealing.
Right.
They need to do the campaigning thing for the school trustee, make a speech, photo op, blah, 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 and get $30,000 to drug dealers.
Yes.
Specifically Pouchy, who, as you remember, cut Vic's finger off.
Yeah, he's been here before and not a good dude.
Well, it was Vic.
Yeah.
Did we care?
Still.
According to several people I know, apparently that actor is going to be in the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. As who knows, because Spider-Man's dead. He didn't want to go.
Aw.
Actually, I rewatched that clip and I don't know why.
It's like, it was so good. It's such a good scene from a movie. Anyway, we shouldn't stop.
Guys, go see Infinity Wars and Deadpool 2. They're very good movies.
Yeah, do it.
Anyway. So we first get to Bubbles, and you were excited because we finally got to meet Allison's mother.
This is a character that we've heard about for like it's always mentioned in passing, basically that she's just a bitch. So like,
and what's your conclusion of her?
She's a bitch.
Oh my god,
she's such like a a condescending mother. Yeah,
and she's not even like the nice like the ones because like sometimes like you get like condescending mothers like either on television or like you meet them in real life.
Yeah,
where it's like they're kind of condescending, but like they get to that point where it's like you could tell like deep down they really do care about their kids.
This one's just a bitch.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's funny. And then it just explains a lot about Allison too, as a person.
Yeah. So we meet her. She's kind of like not, like she's kind of like apparently like she didn't want to sell the store, and then that she built up after apparently she divorced her husband.
Yeah.
Allison's dad, and then is gonna retire to Florida. Mm-hmm. Well, this starts off the trend of this episode, which is like other characters bashing Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie gets a lot of hate this episode.
Apparently, we also learned that Hendrix is Allison's last name.
Yeah, it's Allison's family name and not Donnie's family name, which is interesting. He actually took her last name.
His last name is Chubbs, though.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense why he took the name Hendrix.
Yeah, and like I feel like that they kind of like that's like kind of like saying he's less of a man because he did that.
Right.
Which like I don't.
No, it's not.
No.
Listen, if you get married and you want to change, you want to have the same name, pick the better name. You don't just have to pick the main name. Just pick the better name.
See, I'm personally, whoever I marry, I'm probably going to take their name because I hated being at the end of the alphabet. I hated like being at the end of stuff for everything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
I don't want to subject. If you have kids, you don't want to subject them to that.
Why would I? Like you got lucky.
That's true. That's true. My last name is at the beginning of the alphabet.
Yeah,
so.
mine's all the way at the end. Like it sucked. Unless like theirs is also like near the end. I'm just like maybe we should just like pick a different name.
Yeah. Just go through the book and like pick one you like better. Like and also like nobody's saying that you have to pick like one of your two last names. Some people combine them.
Yeah,
and some people just like do a whole new name altogether. And
I like that. I honestly like that. Like when they just combine their last names. Actually,
yeah, that's cool.
Like, I really like that actually.
Yeah, or you can like use like a mother's maiden name, which is what Jon Stewart did. Fun fact.
Was that his mother's name? I know, like he changed his last. Yeah. I know he changed his name.
I'm pretty sure it was his mother's maiden name, and him and his wife changed it to that when they got married.
I like that.
Good for him.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, like you can do whatever you want. You can have however the hell you want.
Anyway, so
it's our PSA.
Meanwhile, so we go to the campaign. Well, okay, so Allison's gonna go to the campaign, and so there's two manila envelopes. I forget which one's manila.
No, it's not a manila envelope. It's just like a regular envelope.
It's a regular envelope. One has the money and one has the signatures that they need for the campaign thing.
Right.
So Allison goes in to like handle that. Felix is there, and Donnie's going to go to the drug dealers with Jason to give them the money. And so we'll start off with this. So we get to the drug dealer place.
Yeah.
And they're apparently I don't know if he doesn't speak English. I don't remember him talking that much.
Right. Or he doesn't speak any English, or just has very, very limited
English. But his niece comes in, very attractive lady.
Yes.
And apparently Donnie knows Spanish too.
Yeah, I think is it Spanish or Portuguese?
Oh, right, they're different.
I think it's Portuguese.
Okay.
I think he said it was Portuguese later.
Portuguese, okay, I'm sorry.
But some of the words are similar to Spanish, so I'm like, oh.
But anyway, so Donnie's like, all right, here's the money. And then turns out, classic sitcom scenario.
They switched the envelope.
Well, he took the wrong envelope.
Yeah, he took the wrong one.
Yeah, he took the wrong envelope, so it had all the signatures. So whoopsie daisy, gotta love this, hilarious thing. Now Donnie's in trouble with the drug dealers.
Yeah, and not even just like a random drug dealer, like the drug dealer.
I find it like the only thing I could say that's like slightly negative about this, and it's not like super negative, but like they make this more complicated than it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just kind of like, hey, just like go to the place.
Yeah.
Tell Allison what happened. Say, oh, sorry, I gave you the wrong envelope. Switch them. Bring it back. You're good.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No, they make it more complicated.
They make it way more complicated, which is weird. Mm-hmm. But and so that happens, and Donnie's stuck with the drug dealers, and poor Donnie. Donnie's not good at like the drug dealing.
No.
He's a sweetheart, and we love him, despite what everybody says about him, because Donnie gets so much shit this episode.
He does. He's got a good heart. Sometimes
he has a good heart, and he loves his family, and is willing to do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, kind of a Stepford husband.
Yeah, a little bit.
But anyway, back to the campaign. So we're still at like this area, and Allison's got a fair amount of supporters. Good for her. And we got to deal with Marcy Coates a bit.
Yeah, who's a bitch?
Who's a bitch?
Yeah.
And then kind of like I think it's like everybody kind of like just comes in at once and stuff. So Jason comes in to the school and explains what happened, and Allison's trying to get the money.
Yeah.
Casima shows up because after Duffy asked for the urine sample, she's like, "Screw you! I'm just gonna get somebody else's." So she wants Allison's.
Yeah.
And Allison doesn't like Allison just get over here. So Casima's there, and that's it for right there. So then Casima runs into Felix. She just can I just get her pee? And we're doing that, and I think Allison had to go up, was talking to Jason, and then they needed to do a photo op. So then Felix was like, crap. So then this is actually, speaking of switcheroo, this is the first time Casima's had to pretend to be anybody.
Oh.
Remember,
true.
Can you think about it?
Yeah.
So Casima has to pretend to be Allison. And Casima's not in the mood and not good at this. all they really do is just like put her hair in like a hat and then give like bangs.
Yeah. Which is great.
And she does a photo op when you're just kind of like...
She's definitely not the actor.
And Allison's just kind of like, ugh. And also Allison's mom shows up at one point. Oh, no, I totally forgot about a plot point. So Allison actually leaves before Cosima shows up, which is why Cosima didn't pretend to be here, because her mom says she's having a heart attack. Which I don't, and then we could say it's like kind of a panic attack, which I don't even think it was that, honestly. I think it was just kind of like wanting the dog to...
just like wants attention.
So basically, like, Allison goes over and then she talks to her mother, and her mother says, I don't know if I want to sell this place, mainly because of Donnie, because, like...
Right, she just doesn't like Donnie.
She keeps saying, like, her daughter makes the wrong choices. And I'm like, what's wrong with Donnie? God. We're getting upset with, like, the mother just being all, like, mean to Donnie.
She's just, like, such, like... She's, like, just, like, one of those moms that's hella, like... I don't understand, and she just, like...
Like, I don't get, like, what's wrong with Donnie besides the fact that, like, he's just, like, kind of... I mean, he's a
little dopey.
He was dopey, and he was a kind of a lump, but, like, he's growing.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a good parent.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah. So then she goes back, and then the whole stuff with the drug stuff happens. I totally messed this up, guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So they get the money back, and but it takes a really long time, and they're about to cut off Donnie's nose.
Yeah. They really like cutting things off over there.
Look, if you've got one of those paper cutter things, you might as well use it.
That's true.
So then Allison, like, and so then the niece actually comes to the school and says, like, she's in the parking lot, give her the money. And they say, like, okay, so then Allison, before the speech, runs out to give her the money, and the niece is like, no, you're staying until we count the money. And it's kind of just like, it's not good. So then we have the speech time, and who has to make the speech? It's Cosima as Allison. Oh, no.
She's not a very good public speaker.
No.
She doesn't know what she's supposed to say. She can't read the note card because she doesn't have her glasses.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess. On the plus side, like, we know that, like, we want to set up that Allison, like, you know, supports everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a lesbian supporter. That's such, like, I've seen, like, so many gifs of that. It's a good line.
It's good. That's a good one. It's good.
Because apparently people worried about, like, the conservative stuff.
Right.
And I'm just like... Yeah, let's not. But then she starts coughing and says, like, let me go get a drink of water. And then they switch out. Yeah. Real quick. And she gives a nice speech. It's like a bit improv. Right. But it's a nice speech about being like, hey, like, if you have, like, this is your family, and if more people come in, you don't kick people out, you just adapt. Right.
It's a good speech.
It's a nice speech.
It's a good speech.
Meanwhile, well, before, like, while this was, like, kind of going on, like I said, Allison's mom comes to school later on. Right. And is basically still mocking her about the whole thing. And then Jason's still there. So basically she says, like, can you distract my mother?
Entertain her.
So, like, and he does. And apparently, like she really likes Jason and not Donnie, which is, like...
which is interesting, considering that Jason was a kind of
a delinquent. Punk and a dropout and a drug dealer. Meanwhile, Donnie finished school. Yeah. And, like, has a degree in something. Yeah. I know he doesn't have a job right now, but, like, he had, like, probably a decent business job. Yeah. Why do you hate this guy?
I don't know. Because his last name was Chubbs.
That's not a good reason. Like, I don't get why you like the delinquent guy over.
I don't know.
It's like, hey, why don't I go with Jason? Like, the drug dealer? No. Despite the fact that he's still into me and kiss... Not me, later on. Yeah, after the speech, Cosima as Allison runs out and Jason kisses. Yeah. And she's just like...
She's like, I have to pee.
Yep. So, you know.
Which is what anyone would say in that
Although, and then Allison's about to give, like, her urine. Yeah. And, like, Cosima basically told her that Jason kissed her, and, like, she thought it was Allison, and, like, Allison's kind of like, huh?
Yeah, she's not actually like, oh my god. She's
I don't know, because like, we kind of get into it like a bit more, but like I'm not sure if it's like she wants Jason back or like she's just like kind of curious.
Yeah, I think she's more curious about it than anything.
Yeah, I don't think she's
like, not. She's not ready to like start an affair, but she's like, huh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like maybe like it's like a what if thing, but like still like Donnie's like we know like we've seen it like that they work really well as a team together, and like she's not like gonna leave him. Yeah. And that kind of thing. And then Allison's mother comes into the bathroom. And you think it's gonna be like a nice thing, like maybe she had like a change of heart, and she did a bit. She signed over bubbles, which is great, thanks to Jason. So like that kind of thing. But then she's still like bashing Donnie, and saying like maybe she get back with Jason,
basically.
And then Allison's just kind of like, you know what? Screw you! I have a clone. Here she is.
Yeah, because earlier in the episode, like. Their mom admits that, like, her father isn't her actually, like, biological father. Which is funny because Allison has to, like, feign, like, oh my god, what? But, like, she knows, obviously. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, because they had to do in vitro because they couldn't, like, normally have a kid. And she got a different donor instead of the father. And so, yeah, then she's like, yeah, by the way, a clone. Like she says at the end.
And, like, she doesn't, like, I think the way, like, that she handled it was pretty interesting.
Yeah. She doesn't. The mom just goes like, "Oh my god, what?" She just goes like, "That girl's not your clone. You're not even looking
She
like."
calls her mulatto.
She calls her mulatto. That's terrible.
And I'm like, what? No, she calls her mulatto because of the hairdo.
Yeah. She thinks she has like full on dreads, which is hilarious.
And then you're like, oh, okay, this isn't good. And it's kind of just like, you know what? Screw this woman.
Yeah. I didn't really try to force it or anything. She's just like, okay, that's it. And then
that's basically. What happens in this episode?
It was fun.
It was fun.
I had a good time.
Like a nice breather.
Yeah, it was a little more lighthearted from coming off the last episode. I think this was a good place for that episode because it's like we didn't want to go because if you came up from episode like 6 and went like hardcore to the end, like that's like 4 episodes of intense stuff. So like, it would have been too much. Mm-hmm. But this is a good kind of break in between. But it was still like a good fun episode.
And on the plus, like let's look at the plus side. It was like a suburban style Allison centric episode, and nobody got murdered.
Yay! Which is an improvement.
I think that only happened. I don't think it happened in the
not the first one.
No,
but it did happen in the last one. So.
Yeah,
very nice.
Aww. And so, are you into like what's? I mean, we're obviously gonna get to the next episode, but like, are you curious about like stuff that's going on?
Yeah, I think more after the next episode because they add some kind of interesting players to the game there.
Yeah,
so fun.
Also, I read it on this recap thing. It is Portuguese.
Oh, nice.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. Then we'll talk about the next episode, Ruthless in Purpose and Insidious in Method.
Nice.
All right, so we're gonna go. Let's get into episode 8. And Krystal's back.
Yay!
Excited?
I just kind of wanted to see her again because we saw her the one time and I was like, well, what's her story about?
Well, Delphine's there trying to get some info out of her.
Right.
And getting a manicure and that kind of thing. But the big thing that we learn about Krystal in this like first interaction is that she is basic as fuck.
She's very basic. She's a basic bitch.
So basic. But she gives a good manicure apparently.
Yeah. She's very nice.
We could talk about Allison and Helena a bit because their stories are kind of combined.
Oh, yeah.
So, so with Allison, she's basically giving just like people jobs and places to stay.
Right.
So Helena's going to stay with them and also going to be working at Bubbles, and Gracie's given a job at Bubbles. Yeah. Although, like, I was wondering because like, Gracie was like there for the night, so like I'm kind of wondering, I don't know how far it is between their houses, so it might be like she has whenever she works there, she has to like stay there for the night.
Yeah, she's probably taking some temporary residence.
And Donnie's a bit against this.
Yeah, he is because I mean, kind of understandable. Considering Helena's kind of crazy, and she's also murdered people, so maybe you don't want her in your house.
I think that's his biggest concern.
But it's their turn. It's their turn to take care of the crazy one.
But and they get her some of Allison's clothes, and she looks like she looks adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just like,
and she's hanging out with Gemma, and I think like we don't see Oscar, but I feel like they're both kind of involved now because like. Gemma, like, obviously is hanging out with this woman who looks like her mother.
Yeah.
So that's nice to get the kids involved, finally.
Get the kids involved. Why not?
Well, not with the drug dealing.
Not with, no, they're going to stay out of that.
And, I love this bit, because, like, Donnie's, like, kind of showing Helena how to, do, like, mixing the soap and stuff. And we finally get some people being positive towards Donnie.
Yeah.
Like, I think Helena's got a little crush.
Yeah, Helena's into Donnie.
She's like, I love the line. She's like, Allison's got good taste, and then I think she was like, didn't know like what he meant, and then she's like, in men.
And like they're like getting along, so I think Donnie's warming up to her.
Yeah, it's like strong like baby ox. And then And then Donnie makes a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, Elena just finds it way too funny.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the way, like, they're setting up, like, this kind of, like, dynamic or, like, relationship. Because, like, they're not, like, setting it up as, like, is this going to be, like, a creepy affair thing?
Right.
They're not setting it up like that. They're just kind of setting up, like, a cute, like, friendships.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. And, like, another, like, funny, interesting kind of character combination here. Helena and Donnie. Very interesting character combination because Helena's, like, heavily involved with, like, the really, like, big plot stuff. Like, how that's more, like, the sciencey, like, crazy, like, wild action. And Donnie's a little more, like, of the suburban side. Mm-hmm. So, like, another cool, like, interesting two characters that you don't really think about interacting. So, like, yeah, just point that out.
Yeah, and also Jason comes back because Allison needs to talk to him about the kiss. Mm-hmm. And then they kiss again.
Yeah.
And
you can tell she, like, kind of, like...
She kind of, like...
She's kind of into it. But not, like, into it, but she, like, definitely kind of...
She knows, like, she's definitely not going for that.
Right. Yeah, she doesn't want to, like, engage in anything.
And, like, Jason's kind of like, hey, we're all working together. Like, and he even says it to Donnie later on when he texts her. Yeah. When he texts him about that. And basically says, like, I could just, take her, like...
Right.
Like, we're all working together. Like, I could just, like, say this.
I'm your boss. I can do whatever the hell I want.
And we're just kind of like, don't
do that.
Like, I feel like he doesn't want to hurt Allison and, like, probably won't. Like, Donnie doesn't care about, though.
Right.
So that's kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, and then he ends up, Donnie, like, what was it, like, bitch slaps him?
Yeah, you just girl slapped me.
And then Jason kind of beats him up a bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, there's stuff. Like, guys, be gentlemen.
Hey, soap gets made here.
And drugs.
So
that happened. Well, that's it with Allison. And then with Helena, again, like, Helena's kind of working there. She sees Gracie again, and they kind of hug it out.
Yeah.
Which
is nice.
And I feel bad for Gracie because she keeps having to apologize that she lost the baby.
Yeah, she's like, and like, Helena's like, says it's okay.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Mark's fault a little bit.
Yeah, well, a little bit. He's got...
We don't feel... I mean, yeah. So Gracie's working there. And, yeah, it seems nice.
Yeah.
Everything seems good there.
Yeah, I'm glad that, those girls getting some stability back in their lives. Very nice.
Hey, want to get to some not stable stuff?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's do, actually, I would say everybody else's kind of storylines are kind of merged a bit. Mm-hmm. With Rachel and Sarah and Cosima and Krystal.
Yeah.
They're all kind of combined.
Yeah, so, can't talk about one.
Well, yeah, so Delphine's kind of seeing Rachel as, like, a liability.
Right. She kind of wants, she wants her gone, but she doesn't want, like, she's not going to take her out, but also she might. So, like, yeah, watch out.
Yeah, so they're kind of trying to figure that out, and, what was it? Sarah and Cosima are talking a bit, because, like, Cosima's starting to get worse. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to figure out, like, what they can do, and Cosima just calls Scott. Mm-hmm. Scott tells her about the book. It basically says, like, we need to, like, try to get this translated, because I think I forgot to mention this last episode. Rachel translates some of it, but says she'll only tell Sarah.
Right, yes.
So we set up a video meeting, mm-hmm. and Rachel says, I'll translate the entire, she gives, like, a little bit.
Right.
And basically says, I'll translate the rest of it, but you need to get me out of here.
Right.
And then they bring up Krystal, which is how Krystal gets involved, because in order to get her out, because at this time Rachel's, like, dead. Quote unquote.
Right.
So basically Rachel says, get me Krystal's identity and all of her information, mm-hmm. and then I will take her identity, and then we will just, skedaddle. I'll skedaddle, and then I'll translate. Yeah.
Right. She wants to go to Taiwan.
Yep.
So she's got to get out of the country, so you need an ID for that.
And we get a really funny bit with Felix and Krystal, where... because, like, so basically they drive up, and Felix needs to go in and, like, steal her identity and, like,
right.
like, talk to her a bit just to see, like, get, like, passwords and stuff. Mm-hmm. So Felix goes and puts on, I think that's how Jordan Gvartz actually sounds, because I know he's, like, Canadian. He's not British.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's not it? Okay.
I don't know if that's exactly his voice, but I think it's close to his real voice.
It's so funny, though, because when he puts on, like, the Canadian accent, it, like, sounds like he's putting on an accent, which is great.
I think that's how he sounds. There might be a bit deeper, and is, like... flirting with Chris.
Yeah, he puts on his best straight man voice, basically.
I'm going to say metrosexual. And, like, Crystal's into it.
Oh, yeah. She's just all about that.
But we get to learn a bit more about Krystal, and, like, the fact that she's kind of like, she doesn't have like clone in her head, but like she's getting suspicious about her life.
Yeah, like all of the stuff that happened, like she's definitely noticing trends in things. Like
she
it's
like
weird, like with the twins, like the twins are weird, and like she starts talking about like her different boyfriends and how like, they all seem to be like on a cycle.
Yeah. So she's like definitely, and she's like, she feels like something's missing, and it upsets her a bit. But as I found this funny because like Felix is like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, real quick, and then I'm like, you can't go to the bathroom I've never gone to the bathroom during a manicure.
If you gotta go, you gotta go.
No, but usually just like wait, and then because like how are you gonna do anything with like your hands that are like But anyway, so then he goes into the locker and finds a bunch of weird stuff in her purse, but mainly her wallet and a book, which means it like says that she's investigating what's going on with.
Yeah, she's not just like suspicious, useful on investigating everything that's going on. And
then he almost gets like caught because a woman walks into the locker room where she finds it and is like, "Oh, sorry, I was looking for the loo," and I'm like, "That's not." And then they keep talking, and Felix is just like, I want to tell her.
Yeah.
But, like, knows that, like, he really can't. But then he puts on and he goes back to the British accent and is like, hey, like, look, everything's going to be okay. And then they go off. So that happens. And then later on, she meets Dr. Nealon.
Yes.
And then we cut to Scott. Scott does a good amount this episode and then doesn't deserve what happens.
Oh, poor Scott.
He's at his apartment, and guess who's there?
Rudy. It's Rudy.
It's Rudy because because one thing we're gonna bring up, we go to Mexico for like a little bit, and Dr. Cody's there with the one guy that Paul was talking to, and they say that they have somebody on the inside, and that's kind of like we're suspecting that like, all right, there's like a rat in the group, and that's how Rudy gets into the apartment and threatens Scott's cat.
You don't threaten a cat.
And like Scott's really upset.
The poor kitty has kitty asthma.
Yeah, well, I think the cat's name was like Denise or something.
Aw, poor baby. She didn't deserve that.
She didn't. Like, poor, and like he kept holding the cat, and I'm like, oh, we not hurt the cat?
Yeah, put the cat down.
And basically he says he wants the book, and Scott, I feel, doing the correct thing, gave him the book.
He gives him the book.
It like, saves the cat. Because like I think they get a call, and the next thing the next thought you see is the cat alive. So you're like, okay, good.
Whew. And like it's so funny because Felix is like, oh yeah, and I got that cat. Yeah, you had to give it to him. And like everyone's like, oh, I had the cat. Yeah,
it's fine.
And I think Cosima says that later. He's like, it's okay.
Well, actually, he calls Delphine and tells them about the book, and she's pissed.
Yeah, because she didn't know nothing about that book.
Well, because they weren't going to tell. They weren't actually telling anybody until I think they wanted to like figure it out and then tell people. And not tell Delphine because they don't trust her anymore. But she gets upset, and then they basically Delphine says like, "Well, is there a copy, or did you not make a copy?" And they're like, "We didn't think it was safe if we made a copy."
Right.
Which is actually we'll get to that. But they also have a plan to get Rachel to like out and then take her to Mrs. S's, and then they're gonna translate the book, and then they'll get her to Taiwan.
Yes.
Or whatever. So they do that with the nerds. Basically, it's Scott and one of his game buddies, which is fun. And so the game buddies help out. One of them brings a copy of The Island of Dr. Moreau because, of course, they made a copy. They're not idiots.
Right.
And then the other one as dressed up as a security guard, and they're just like they're going to the elevator, and he just like the one guy dressed up as a security guard is just such a nerd.
I know, it's like basically I love this because throughout this episode, like Scott's basically recruiting all of his nerd friends from his like tabletop group, and they're just like the biggest nerds.
And Rachel's just like,
but they're so good at what they do. Like, can't even be mad because they're just good at it.
Yep. So they get out. They get Rachel to Mrs. S's, and she starts translating the book. Meanwhile, also, because I keep going jump back and forth. I'm sorry. So she starts translating the book in order, and then while this is going on, also Cosima's instructing Delphine with like a resignation letter, and then they talk about like their relationship and stuff, and Delphine kisses her.
Yeah, like Cosima tells her about like that weird near-death experience that she had where she saw Delphine,
and she basically like Delphine brings up like if you resign, like you're not gonna know who is a spy or not. Like you don't know if Shay's a spy. Like you're not gonna be self-aware.
Right.
So it's kind of like, and so like you're kind of. I think you are more alluding to the fact that like I think she's like Delphine's like mainly doing her job, but she a little, and like she says like at one point like I don't like I'm French. I don't care if you have lovers.
Right.
But like she a little jealous.
Yeah.
A little jelly. Yeah. So then that happens, and then Rachel is like still like translating, and I don't know what the rhyme was.
Something
in London town.
Yeah.
Something with the original.
Right. That's.
We'll get to that because that does come up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here it is. Okay, in London town, we all fell down. Okay, so this is first one. In London town, we all fell down and cast our woe from slumber. Actually, I don't think they have the second part. Oh, well, but it was something with, like, in London town.
Yeah.
The original's in there. And then they get ambushed by Dr. Nealon and some other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that all of this was a trick in order to get the copy of The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Right.
But while doing this, Rachel kind of has, like, a brain problem and, like, gets seizures.
Yeah. Has a seizure.
And then they have to get her into, like, surgery immediately. And Delphine's, like, freaking out because now they don't have anybody to translate the book.
Right.
So that's not good. And then Rachel, turns out they have to put her into a coma, and they're not sure if she's going to recover.
Right.
And so Delphine's upset because now they're not going to be able to, like, cure people, and basically accepts the resignation of Cosima and Scott.
And Scott, even though he didn't resign.
And also gives her a file and Shay.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
We'll see.
What's also interesting. Yeah, Rachel's not in a coma, guys.
Nope.
Rachel is perfect. Well, she's not perfectly fine, but
she's about to get a new eye.
When she's about to get a new eye. When Dr. Nealon met with Krystal, what they actually did was so that was actually also fake on Rachel's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
They got Krystal and, like, dressed her up as Rachel and put her into an induced coma. Poor Krystal. At least she gets a nap for a while.
Yeah, take a nap.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think there's a difference between a nap and a coma. I think I heard that because, what was it? The Big Sick? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
That just came out last year?
Yeah.
There was a nerdist, Kumail and Emily, she was the one in the coma, and she basically kind of, like, described, like, saying, like, I still, like, knew what was, like, going on. And,
yeah,
like,
I've heard that before. People who are, like, in comas, like, they, like, are...
They're like
there, but they're not, like, fully there.
And they think they're not sure if they're dreaming or not, and then, like, they don't think they've actually been asleep that long, and then they wake up, it's been, like, a few days or how long.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Krystal's in a coma, and Rachel's getting a new eye, and says, like, as she's going to surgery, she, like, says goodbye to Dr. Nealon, and a woman gets on the phone and Nealon says, she's in your hands now.
Who could it be?
I don't know.
Who could it be?
And to end the episode, they stick with Mrs. Esther, and Felix stick with the last rhyming thing, and they're going to London.
They're taking a vacation.
Well, is it a vacation?
It's a vacation.
Is it?
It's the vacation episode.
Is it?
Yeah, there's going to be a whole, like, travel montage next episode where they're, like, singing the sights.
London Calling is going to be playing.
Yeah, and then there's, like...
that always plays.
Like, they're taking pictures and posing in front of things, and they're, like, taking funny pictures with, like, the...
But you gotta find...
the Royal Guard.
They're trying to find the original, though.
Yeah, well, they can do that within the montage. Montages aren't limited.
I was a bit rambly with this episode, but how were these?
They're good. I mean, I always like a good Allison-centric episode for the first one. For the second one, it was... I think a lot of things were coming together. So it was interesting to kind of see Rachel working with some of our main heroes. And,
working, kind of.
Sort of. I mean, she had her own things in mind. But I just think wherever her thing's going to go, I'm very curious to see where, like, her story's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Helena and Gracie are, like, doing something, like, productive. And not, like, just, like, maybe have some stability in their life, which is good.
Yeah, I think that's good that, like, they're kind of, like, helping them out in a way. Well, obviously help out Helena, but also helping out Gracie, who, you know.
Yeah, she just needs something.
She needs something, and, like, you know, working in the soap shops probably sounds pretty good. I didn't realize in soap shops, I don't know if it's just, like, them, but, like, they actually make their own soap. I guess I didn't, like, realize that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is kind of like a family-owned kind of thing, so, yeah.
I guess I just figured you get to a factory. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any particular... We got the finale coming up next.
I know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Do you have any theories? Do you think we're going to meet an original?
Ooh. I hope so.
Are you curious about that? Like,
I'm always kind of curious a little bit about, like, originals or whatever, like, how they're going to, like, do it, but I don't know. I think it's I think whatever happens, Rudy's going to do something to piss me off. I don't know what it is.
Probably.
But he's going to do something that pisses me off.
Are you worried about Shay and being a spy, maybe?
I'm curious what's in that file. Like, if they found something, I'm really curious. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'd be surprised if she was a spy. Like, she may have, like, a kind of a spotty past, maybe. But, like, I'm not sure if she's going to be, like, a full-blown spy.
I kind of wonder if it's going to be like Cal, where it's, like, her past is spotty, but it's not, like, bad. It's not like, it's like, eh.
It's just like, we all done.
It's like, she's done bad stuff, but it really doesn't have anything to do with, like, clones and stuff.
Right.
Because, like, that's the thing.
Yeah. So we'll see.
All right, got a comment corner?
Comment corner. It's time for the comment corner. Let's see. This is from our reaction to, what is this? Oh, this is from our season 2 finale reaction, and somebody commented, I like this one. This is Sparks Off You, who says, just fast forward it to the cast reveal, and it didn't disappoint.
It didn't.
Thank you. I'm glad that you appreciated my reaction to that.
Because you were not expecting that at all.
I was not. I can't believe I wasn't. And then our one podcast, which is I believe it's the season 2 finale podcast. We got a couple comments from Eddie Me, I think, who has also commented on a couple of our stuff before. One says, MASH is a classic, thank you. Orphan Black was originally conceived as a movie 10 years earlier. They couldn't make it work. I assume that meant they couldn't condense it to 2 hours.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if you could, like, condense that to...
Like, now I could see an Orphan Black movie. Mm-hmm. Like, now, because, like, you already developed, like kind of like Serenity to Firefly.
Right.
Like, that I could see.
Yeah.
I could see it also maybe as a series of movies. You could probably do a series of movies.
Yeah.
But I don't think...
No, well, the thing is, there's too many characters, I feel like to
you definitely
to have
need to,
movie.
You definitely need to probably just, like, cut on, like, the clones and maybe only do, like have, like, 3 clones and a couple other characters.
Yeah, but, like...
You can't really develop
them.
What
works about this series is that there is kind of a lot going on, and, like, there's so many, like, different interconnected things that, like, it's hard to explore so much in, like, only 2 hours. So I think it definitely works better as a TV series than it would as a movie, I think.
Yeah.
And this other one says, the same one from Eddie Me says, they didn't decide on who the male clone would be until sometime in season 2. I think Paul was originally going to be the clone. In parentheses, Paul as in, like, Pollux, like Castor and Pollux from mythology. And, like, I read that, I was like, oh, Paul is in Pollux. That makes so much sense. That's what, like, if you would have asked me who you thought, like, who I would have thought any of the characters revealed, like, in between season 1 and 2 would be as far as, like, clones go, I would have said Paul.
You would have said that, but then you had to think that if they were going to go with the genetic thing, that they were genetically, like, siblings. That would have been weird.
It would have messed up. Well, they just could have not done that, too.
They could have not done that, but then I think it's kind of like, okay, well, then why is there a Castor clone? Like, I mean, no, like, I see it. Definitely. I think they would have to, like, rearrange some stuff, because, like, obviously then, like, it couldn't have been the boyfriend. It would have to be somebody else.
Right, but like, without knowing, like, if they didn't have to be, like, genetic siblings, like, I would have said Paul. Like, that would have been my first person to, like, guess. So, like, yeah. But, like, Paul's and Pollux, I'm like, like, Castor, Pollux, that makes sense.
I can see that.
So, yeah.
I don't know how many more comments we have left, but do you want to say anything? Other ones?
Steve, who's commented on a couple things before. Hi, Steve. Has the cool icon that's Cosima's laptop. Said on our season 3 premiere, says, season 3, holy doodle, here we go. I, too, feel, yes, holy doodle indeed.
Yeah.
From Action Echo says, I think I read any comments last. No, I didn't. Action Echo says, did you know that the Scorpion is voiced by Tatiana Maslany herself? And we said that in the podcast episode, not the reaction. And Eddie Me comments, and named Pupak, which means belly button.
I didn't know that.
Cool. I did not know the belly button thing.
There we go. So something we didn't know.
We learned something.
Hooray!
Thanks, Eddie.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, guys. Just a quick reminder, we're going to be doing a live show at Philly Podcast Festival June 30th, which is a Saturday at 5 p.m. at Tattooed Mom.
Woo!
On South Street. I think we might have the full address somewhere.
Yeah, put it.
Yeah. We could probably just put it in the description.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll link to the Philly Podcast website site so you can see all that information.
Yes. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, please subscribe. We want to get to 400 really soon. We've been kind of like we're on the 350 thing for a while. So please do that.
Yeah. We know you can do it.
Leave a comment, positive, negative, not
any kind. Read them on the show. So do something creative.
Put on your notifications because I hear that's a problem. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please subscribe and leave us a 5-star rating or any rating.
Yeah,
and leave a review because those are fun.
Yes.
We are on Facebook, so facebook.com/WittyClothesProductions. So you can like us there, leave a comment, message us, whatever. We are on Twitter @WittyClothes if you want to tweet at us and stay updated on some social media stuff. We have a Patreon, and if we want to keep doing this and be able to make it easier for our lives, we would love to get paid for doing this.
Yeah.
So that's patreon.com/WittyClothes. Witty Clothes Productions, I believe. And also we have an email, wittyclothes@gmail.com. If you just want to email us, say hey.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
That's it. Yep.
All right. So that's it for this episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. We'll see you guys next time. We're going to talk about the season 3 finale of Orphan Black.
I'm excited, but also nervous.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh.
So much.
Oh.
All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.